So, is it possible? Yeah. Does he have the talent to do it? Yeah. Was he one of the best fighters of all times? Yeah. So.
Universally, like when you think about boxing, like you know who he is, and yeah, like you know like what he brings in his fight. So yeah, man. I mean, we're here.
Freddie Roach was left stunned while watching 46-year-old Manny Pacquiao display his incredible hand speed during training for his upcoming fight against Mario Barrios. Roach, who trained Pacquiao for years, couldn't believe the legendary boxer still moved with lightning-fast precision, showing the kind of speed and accuracy that rivaled his prime years. Multiple boxing experts have analyzed Pacquiao's recent training footage and expressed real surprise at his physical condition. At 46, Pacquiao's speed and agility in the gym appear on par with fighters much younger than him. Analysts point out that Mario Barrios, his next opponent, might be in for a serious challenge. As Pacquiao's quick reflexes and fast hands seem barely affected by time, this has shifted the narrative. Pacquiao may no longer be the underdog, but rather a serious threat in the ring.
At the same time, with me saying that, I still kind of got Mario Barrios getting the win just because of age, but I would not be surprised if Manny Pacquiao pulls through. I can tell you this, a lot of the internet saying Manny Pacquiao about to shock the world. So I'm just excited. All in all, it's a couple things that I do want to talk about in this regard. One of them being, if Barrios wins the fight, then I feel like we got to see Barrios versus Boots. And I got Boots for the victory, for sure. At the same time, if Pacquiao gets the win, do we see Pacquiao versus Boots? I don't really see that going that way, or I don't see that going good for Pacquiao, if I got to be honest. So I'm very curious on how that's going to go. But personally, the boxing fan in me, I want to see Boots get undisputed. You know, that's what I want to see. So in a sense, I kind of want Barrios to win just so we can see the Boots versus Barrios fight. But the topic of this video is Pacquiao and Barrios, so let's get back into that. That's just exciting just to see Pacquiao with all this footage, the clips, I'm seeing him do press, all of that. It's just exciting just in general. Now, with that being said, I think Pacquiao still got that pop on him. He definitely going to have that speed, or at least close enough speed to what he used to have. I do think it's going to be an exciting fight, and it's in Vegas.
The distinct, sharp sound of Pacquiao's punches during training has amazed those watching. At an age when most fighters are long retired, Pacquiao's hand speed still stands out, impressing even seasoned professionals. Known as one of his most dangerous weapons throughout his career, this explosive speed still looks capable of turning fights. His reunion with Freddie Roach has also sparked excitement among fans and pundits. Roach, the man who helped shape Pacquiao into a global icon, brings years of experience and a deep connection to Manny's style. Their comeback training camp in Los Angeles has become a media focal point, reflecting the power of legacy, trust, and mutual respect. Respected trainer Robert Garcia has praised Manny Pacquiao, calling him a living legend whose impact reaches far beyond boxing. Garcia stressed the admiration and respect Pacquiao continues to earn from the boxing world and fans across generations. He believes that Pacquiao's drive and heart can help him overcome even this late career challenge. His support echoes the growing belief that Pacquiao still has the tools to succeed in this comeback. Mario Barrios himself has shared a mix of awe and respect for the chance to fight Pacquiao. He recognizes both the huge opportunity and the daunting challenge of stepping into the ring with a fighter whose legacy is unmatched. His comments reflect the emotional weight of this matchup, not just a fight, but a meeting with boxing history. Barrios also shows humility, understanding the significance of facing a legend like Pacquiao.
Retirement. Well, Pacquiao's a big name, and obviously Barrios a great fight for Barrios because he's a champion, and I think Pacquiao, being that they both have connections with PBC, that's the easiest fight to make. So, getting another title opportunity, I just the name obviously, but I really believe that Pacquiao shouldn't be fighting. I think it's actually going to be a little. I don't want to say sad because he's going to make a lot of money, so we can't feel sorry for him. But at 46, almost 47, it's almost impossible for I'm just 4 years older, 3-4 years older than him, and it's not easy to try to think you're going to get in shape and be able to perform like the way you were when you were in your 20s and 30s.
You think it's impossible for him to beat Mario Barrios right now?
Well, it's not impossible because he has power. That he should have that power. Barrios is big and a strong boy, so I don't see that happening. But is it possible? Anything's possible. George Foreman did it. There's been others that do it. But I really don't see it happening.
But Pacquiao's speed's the name of his game. Do you think he doesn't have that? There's no way he doesn't have the same speed as before.
There's no way, bro. You guys, I don't know if you guys seen his last performance.
The exhibition against that big guy.
It was actually embarrassing to see that shit. So it wasn't that good. It wasn't that good. You know what I mean?
If Pacquiao wins, what does that do for him? Where does that put him all time?
Hell, come on. At that age, after a few years, I don't know how many years he's been out. That'd be impressive. It's hard to think it's gonna happen, but that shit would be nice, man. It would be nice. Very few have done it, and he's actually one that could do it.
Pacquiao, he's probably top 5 all time, one of the greatest fighters.
Boxing Hall of Famer Sugar Ray Leonard has voiced his support for Pacquiao's return, praising the mental strength needed to compete at this stage. Leonard rejects the idea that comebacks are doomed to fail, instead focusing on the importance of mindset and courage. His endorsement gives more legitimacy to Pacquiao's decision, reinforcing the belief that determination and passion still count even more than age. Leonard's viewpoint speaks to those who value grit as much as physical skill.
Because it was it was a Pacquiao, and I was like, I knew he was retired, and it just wasn't a fight that I had ever really
thought about.
Yeah, thought about or pictured unfolding in my head. So yeah, then around March was when I was I got the word that okay, we're gonna start working on this for real. All the details, I'm like, oh damn, this is really happening. Okay, cool. All right, let's get it.
It's still when you think about it, is it still crazy for you? You're fighting Manny Pacquiao, who you weren't even born yet, and he was already fighting. I think he might have had a world title. I'm not sure, but yeah.
He might have. Yeah, no, dude. He's again from my earliest memories. Anytime I thought about boxing, he was a name that I knew in the sport. And like I said, it doesn't matter what generation you're from. I think just in general, Manny is one of those names, universally. When you think about boxing, you know who he is, and what he brings in his fight. So yeah, man. We're here. I'm defending my title against him. So yeah, it's crazy, but I'm excited.
Reactions from fans and commentators to Pacquiao's training have been overwhelmingly positive. Many are amazed at how his speed and movements echo his prime years. The sight of a veteran fighter defying the typical signs of aging has reignited excitement. It reminds the boxing world that elite dedication and discipline can extend a fighter's prime, boosting the hype around this already emotional comeback event.
At 46, about to make his way back into the ring. I saw him training this morning, but a lot of people are worried about him. He's been inactive. Bob Arum, his longtime, guy, even said, I don't want to see him get hurt. Rooting for him, but I don't want to see him get hurt. What do you think as a guy, who's probably thought about getting back in the ring a few times? You know what I'm saying? What do you think?
Well, actually, I can't comment too harshly on that because I made more comebacks than everybody. I hold a record, undisputed. You know?
Yeah.
But you know what? Hey, do what you want to do, man. You know.
Do you think the idea of like inactivity when you have somebody who lives his life to do it is a big deal? You know.
It is a big deal, man. I mean, there's no one thing that will really make people understand why we do what we do. But you know what? God bless, stay healthy, and take care.
Pacquiao's latest training clips show a fighter moving with incredible energy and precision. His hands snap quickly, his footwork is light, and his overall rhythm seems finely tuned. The gap between his age and his performance suggests remarkable conditioning and a deep-rooted instinct to fight. This sharpness on the mitts tells a story of hunger and competitiveness. The upcoming match is being seen as a symbolic showdown between Pacquiao, representing the golden age of legends, and Barrios, representing youthful ambition. This clash of generations adds extra meaning to the event. Yet fans also worry about the toll such a comeback might take on Pacquiao's body.
The WBC president Mauricio Suleiman has said Mario Barrios will face Manny Pacquiao this July. That's some crazy shit, bro. That's some crazy news. Manny Pacquiao is 46 years of age. He's making his return to the ring. And he said he wants to go out with a bang. He wants to finish his career as a champion. That's some crazy shit. Manny Pacquiao's professional record currently stands at 62 wins. 39 of those coming via knockout, 8 losses and 2 draws. Manny Pacquiao has one of the most impressive CVs in the sport of boxing. Just take a look at from 09 Ricky Hatton all the way up until here. There's so many names: Timothy Bradley, Manuel Marquez, Shane Mosley, Joshua Cloteley, Miguel Cotto, Floyd Mayweather, Jesse Vargas. Like, there's so many names on this list. You know what I'm saying? Let's take a look at Mario Barrios' record. 29 wins, 18 of those coming via knockout, 2 losses and 1 draw on his resume. What do I make of this fight? I don't know, you know. I mean, listen, this is a young man's sport. I ask myself, Manny Pacquiao, why do you want to come back and fight a younger fighter? You know what I mean? Mario Barrios, who is the current champion, who's the WBC champion. Why? What have you got to prove? You've proven everything throughout your career. So I don't know what to say, but anyways, let me know in the comment section what you guys think, and watch a clip of the president of WBC, Mauricio Suleiman, talk about this.
As of now, Mario Barrios is the WBC champion, so who is he mandated to fight next? Do you have made that decision yet?
Well, at this time, Mario Barrios is going to fight Manny Pacquiao in July. He wants to retire as WBC champion, so he's fighting in the welterweight division.
Why does he come out of retirement and get a WBC title shot in his first fight?
Because it's something that WBC has respected. Sugar Ray Leonard was retired 4 years when he requested to fight Marvin Hagler and defeated Hagler. So we do have that provision in the rules. A legendary champion with the credentials such as Manny Pacquiao. He has been medically cleared, licensed by Nevada, so we have voted in favor to allow that fight to happen.
Veteran commentator Teddy Atlas has provided analysis on Barrios' rise through the weight divisions, noting that Barrios is moving up rather than fighting in his most natural class. This insight casts doubt on any supposed size advantage he may hold over Pacquiao. Atlas's breakdown introduces a more balanced view of the fight, encouraging fans to rethink assumptions and consider the subtleties of the matchup.
So Mario Barrios and Manny Pacquiao are finalizing a deal to fight in the summer. Now, Manny Pacquiao is, I think, close to 40 years old, if not already 40. Why is he still boxing? We've seen how he looked in his last exhibition against Ampo. I'm telling you right now, if this fight ever happens, which it probably will, this fight will happen, most likely. If he gets in there with Barrios, he's gonna get whooped and possibly even stopped. Let me know what y'all think about this fight down below. Manny's already done the most legendary thing you could ever do in boxing. A-Division World Champion. No one's ever done it, and probably no one will ever do it again. So why does he want to keep fighting these young guys? I don't know, man. I don't know. But let me know what y'all think wins down below.
Opinions across the boxing world remain split over Pacquiao's chances. Some believe in his skills, experience, and toughness, while others worry about the risks of aging in such a brutal sport. Critics have labeled the fight as more spectacle than substance, comparing it to recent high-profile matchups involving non-traditional fighters. This divide highlights how difficult it is to fairly assess a legend's comeback. The fight isn't just about titles, it's a turning point in Pacquiao's legacy. A win could cement him as a timeless icon. A loss might serve as a harsh reminder of boxing's physical demands.
Not naturally as big a man as those other welterweights. So start there. That's a fair point. He moved up in weight, Barrios. So he's not a naturally big, natural welterweight. And of course, we understand Pacquiao has moved up. My God, I don't even know when he first turned pro. You would have thought maybe he could have been a jockey.
Yeah,
I mean he was
108 pounds, right?
Yeah, jockeys are about 105 pounds, I think, somewhere around that neighborhood. I mean, can you imagine him though going to the whip? He might have killed the horse. That's the only thing. Yeah, you would have had Petter. What is it called? Peter, whatever. Peter. You would have had Peter coming after you. You know, look what he did to this horse. You know, but look, I love Pacquiao. One of my favorite people. One of my favorite fighters in the whole world. He's moved up from like whatever. Incredible weight. People forget about that. That's why I brought it up. How many weight classes this man has really moved up. Incredible. Just incredible. But now, yeah, Barrios wouldn't be as big as those other guys, but he's still a guy that's confident. He's a guy that's a world champion. He's a guy who throws a lot of punches. He's a guy who's younger, who's active, you know, who I know you can't go by this guy beat this guy, but he could beat that guy, but he could beat this guy, but you can't go by that in my business, in this business, because styles make fights. But you're right. He beat Ugas. You could say Ugas was a little older than when he fought him a little bit, than when Pacquiao fought him, and maybe that made a difference, whatever. But he did take a lot of punishment, Pacquiao, in the Ugas fight.
Pacquiao's direct title shot has sparked backlash in the boxing community. Critics like Jeff Mayweather argue that giving him a shortcut to a title undermines fairness and the merit-based ranking system. They point out that other fighters worked hard to earn their place, and bypassing them creates tension. This issue reflects a deeper debate about balancing respect for legendary fighters with the integrity of competition.
And reportedly for July 19th. And we know Manny Pacquiao has always brought big business, but now he's going to bring it in more of the late career George Foreman type of way to etch himself into that record book even further. Can Manny do it? I mean, look, the odds are certainly against him, but there's one thing about certain legends in this game. Think Bernard Hopkins, who fought into a very late age. Some of them, as long as they can physically get themselves into that ring, sometimes they can reproduce magic for one night. So it's a romantic situation. I got cats walking around.
Yep.
People are excited to see the Pac-Man back. You just got to kind of figure out, is this for real? Is he going to be for real? Or are we going to send him into a physical, violent retirement?
Yeah, Reggie's a big Manny Pacquiao fan. He loves him because he knows about Father Time, because Father Time is undefeated. We know cats have 9 lives.